All right, folks, gather round. We're diving into something that affects each and every one of us. Tonight's topic is one we're all intimately familiar with, whether we like it or not: social media addiction. It's a modern-day epidemic. That's right, the thing you're probably using to avoid eye contact with someone right now. It's become a crutch for many of us. Look, we all know it's an issue. We see it every day in ourselves and others. We've become slaves to the never-ending scroll, hypnotized by the flickering lights of our devices. It's like we're in a trance. But what if I told you it's not entirely your fault? What if there's more to the story? What if you're not just lazy or easily distracted, but rather a victim of a system designed to keep you hooked? Think about it, it's engineered to be addictive. Every notification, every like, every perfectly curated post is a tiny hit of dopamine, that sweet, sweet neurotransmitter that tells your brain, hey, this feels good, let's do it again. It's a cycle. And again and again and again until you've spent 3 hours watching cat videos instead of, living your actual life. It's a time sink. This isn't some dystopian sci-fi movie, people. This is our reality. It's happening now. We're living in a world where our attention spans are shorter than a goldfish with ADHD, and our self-worth is measured in likes and followers. It's a sad state of affairs. It's time to wake up, sheeple. Time to take control. Time to unplug from the matrix and reclaim our minds from the clutches of social media overlords. Let's break free and live our lives fully. Let's be honest, we're all a little bit addicted. Our phones have become an extension of ourselves, almost like an extra limb. Don't even try to deny it. We all know the truth deep down. I've seen your screen time reports. They don't lie. I know you're checking Instagram in the middle of the night, unable to resist the urge to see what everyone else is up to. Scrolling through TikTok while pretending to listen to your significant other, nodding absent-mindedly. And refreshing Twitter during commercial breaks, even though we all know those are just extended ads for erectile dysfunction medication. The average person spends over 2 hours a day on social media. That's a staggering amount of time. That's 2 hours of your precious time, gone, vanished, sucked into the digital void. Time you can never get back. Think about what you could do with those extra 2 hours. The possibilities are endless. You could learn a new language, write a novel, or even start a new hobby. Or finally build that treehouse you promised your kids, or, let's be real, yourself. Imagine the joy and satisfaction. Instead, you're watching strangers dance on TikTok, losing yourself in an endless stream of short videos, and arguing with bots on Twitter. What a world. It's a never-ending cycle of frustration. And it's not just the time suck that's the problem, it's the constant comparison, the FOMO, the anxiety, the pressure to present a perfectly curated version of yourself to the world. It's exhausting, and for what? A few measly likes? Some fleeting validation from people you barely even know? It's a hollow pursuit. We're all chasing after this digital dragon, hoping to catch its tail, but it's always just out of reach, and all we're left with is a burning desire for more, more, more. It's a never-ending cycle of dissatisfaction. Okay, time for a little science lesson, but don't worry, I'll keep it brief, unlike your average Instagram influencer's quick story update. Every time you get a notification, your brain releases a tiny hit of dopamine, the same neurotransmitter that's released when you eat chocolate, have sex, or win the lottery. Now, dopamine is a good thing. It's what motivates us, makes us feel good, and keeps us coming back for more. But like any good thing, too much of it can be a bad thing. When we are constantly bombarded with dopamine-inducing stimuli like those found on social media, our brains start to crave it. We become addicted to the feeling, to the point where we'll do anything to get our fix. We start checking our phones more often, spending more time online, and neglecting our real-life relationships and responsibilities. It's a vicious cycle, and it's one that's hard to break free from. But, as with any addiction, the first step is admitting you have a problem. So, we wanted to see just how bad this social media addiction really is. We live in a world where our phones are practically glued to our hands, and social media is a constant presence in our lives. We rounded up 5 brave souls, all hopelessly addicted to their devices, and challenged them to give up social media for 30 days. It was a daunting task, but they were willing to take it on. Hi, I'm Sarah, a 25-year-old aspiring influencer. I can't go 5 minutes without posting a selfie. My followers expect constant updates, and I love sharing my life with them. Hey, I'm Mark, a 30-year-old entrepreneur. I spend more time on Twitter than I do running my actual business. It's my go-to for news, networking, and even unwinding after a long day. Hello, I'm Maria, a 40-year-old stay-at-home mom. I use Facebook to connect with friends and family, but mostly just end up in arguments with strangers about politics. It's exhausting but addictive. And I'm John, a 50-year-old retired teacher. I've recently discovered the joys of TikTok and now spend my days filming dance videos with my cat. It's a fun way to pass the time and stay active. These 5 brave souls agreed to give up all social media for 30 days, cold turkey. No exceptions, no excuses, no Facebook, no Instagram, no Twitter, no TikTok, no Snapchat, no nothing. They had to cut off all their usual digital distractions. They were allowed to use their phones for calls, texts, and essential apps, but that was it. No social media apps were permitted, no mindless scrolling, no posting, no liking, no commenting. It was a complete digital detox. Just them, their thoughts, and the real world. Oh, the horror. How would they cope without their digital lifelines? The phantom buzzes begin. The first few days were rough. Like really rough. Imagine the worst hangover of your life, but instead of a pounding headache and a churning stomach, it's a constant, nagging feeling of emptiness and anxiety. Our participants experienced it all: withdrawal symptoms, phantom phone vibrations, an overwhelming urge to check their notifications even though they knew there wouldn't be any. I found myself reaching for my phone every few minutes only to realize I had nothing to check. My productivity plummeted as I struggled to resist the allure of Twitter. I started feeling isolated and out of touch without my daily dose of Facebook drama. And me? Well, let's just say my cat was not happy about the sudden lack of dance partners. It was a tough first week, but our participants persevered. They found new ways to fill their time, like reading, exercising, and actually talking to people face to face. Who knew such things were still possible in the 21st century? As the days turned into weeks, something amazing happened. Our participants started to change. They became more present, more engaged in their real lives, and less concerned with what was happening in the digital world. I started taking photography classes and rediscovered my passion for art. I finally finished that business plan I'd been putting off for months. I started volunteering at a local soup kitchen and reconnected with my love of cooking. And John? Well, he discovered the joys of birdwatching and started a new TikTok account dedicated to his feathered friends. Don't worry, we let him off the hook for that one. They realized that the world outside their phones was actually quite a fascinating place, full of interesting people, exciting experiences, and endless possibilities. Who knew? It was almost as if they had stumbled upon some hidden secret, some ancient wisdom that had been lost to the digital age. After 30 long days, our experiment came to an end. Our participants had faced their demons and emerged victorious, mostly. I decided to keep social media at arm's length, limiting my use and focusing on real-life interactions. Same here. I found a healthier balance, using social media to stay connected with loved ones without letting it consume my life. And then there was John, who, well, let's just say some addictions are harder to break than others. But even John admitted that the experience had been eye-opening. I realized how much time I had been wasting on social media, and how much more fulfilling my life could be when I unplugged and engaged with the world around me. The results were in social media detox: 1, digital dopamine demons, 0. So, what about you? Are you ready to break free from the shackles of social media addiction? Are you brave enough to face the real world without the comforting glow of your phone screen? We challenge you to take the 24-hour social media detox challenge. That's right, just 24 hours. One measly day without the constant barrage of notifications, likes, and comments. Think you can handle it? We know it won't be easy. You might experience withdrawal symptoms, phantom vibrations, and an overwhelming urge to check your phone every 5 seconds. But we promise it will be worth it. You might be surprised by what you discover about yourself and the world around you when you're not constantly glued to your phone. The truth is, social media isn't inherently bad. It can be a powerful tool for connecting with people, sharing information, and building communities. But like any tool, it can be used for good or evil. It all depends on how we use it. So the next time you find yourself reaching for your phone, take a moment to ask yourself, am I in control, or is social media controlling me? The answer might surprise you. And that's our show. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.